Hello. Hopefully all of you had wonderful Christmas time and New Year is also coming. So I wish you all the best for the next year and the upcoming years as well. Let's discuss separate things today because for last few videos we were working with the admin playlist. So let's change our mood and let's talk about Dashboard Studio in this particular video. Okay, so if you remember, previously I posted couple of videos on how to create save searches, change searches in Dashboard Studio, right? So we were mainly working with the TMDB data. So probably I will from now onwards we will use a different data. I think I have told in the previous video as well, like we will create TMDB dashboard only, but for longer time we were working with that data. Probably this is the time we will switch and we will try to use some separate data as well, try to see how best we can use that data in our Dashboard Studio videos. Okay, so today's video we will mainly concentrate on the how to create the single value in Dashboard Studio. So probably we will create this dashboard today. Okay, so if you see, like, there is a single value is displaying over here with some icons as well. So this icon will automatically change color based on whatever color this guy will have. We will see that how to create that. We have a 3 separate single values over here with some trend lines, and this one is the single value radial chart over here. So if you see it, like all of these things are single value display in Dashboard Studio, and this dashboard we will be creating on the COVID-19 data, and which I actually downloaded from this Kaggle page. So there are two different data set. If you see the daily data and the summary data, now this data set is getting updated very frequently, I think once in a month. So you can always work with this data and you will have at least very good amount of current data. I think the current data I have worked with have data till 2nd of December. So maybe probably when you will be working on this video, it would be updated to include more data over here as well. Okay, so I'll be giving this link in my video description as well, so you can always check it out from there. So let's take a very close look at the data first, then we will move to the dashboard part. So in the daily data, if you see it, it's a very simplistic data set where we have every day wise, date wise, for every country, what is the cumulative number of total confirmed cases, daily new cases, number of active cases, and the total amount of deaths, cumulative deaths, and the daily new deaths over here. This is the daily data, and the summary data we have it for it don't have any kind of date and timestamp. It is basically the overall summary, like the country wise, the continent wise, total confirmed case, deaths, recovered, and as well as like whether the patients are serious or critical or not. So total cases per 1 million, deaths per million, and total tests conducted by that particular country. Okay, so both of this data I have indexed in my Splunk, in my COVID-19 index here. And if you see, these are the two different sources I have. Currently I have filtered for the all time because I need to show you all the different data over here. Now the dashboard we are going to create, some of the single value will be based on all time only because that will show up the summary data, and the single value which basically have this kind of trend line, which you will be using the daily data over here. Okay, so and this guy over here, this radial chart is actually the same, having the similar kind of information, or basically the same query used both of these places over here. And in future we will not keep this radial graph because this is anyway, I just wanted to discuss that. For that reason only I have included that, so we will remove that in future version of this dashboard as well. Okay, so let us try to start on this one. So we will go to our dashboard tab. Now in the dashboard tab, if you see, like previously I was working on this particular dashboard only, this COVID-19 dashboard clone. So that is what I shown it to you. So let us try to recreate this dashboard again. So I will be clicking on create new dashboard. So let's give it a meaningful name, COVID-19 dashboard, let's say. Okay, say it BOARD dashboard over here. Permission level you can set it either shared in app or private. Now as we are using the new framework Dashboard Studio, so I will be clicking on Dashboard Studio here, and I will be choosing the absolute layout over here. I'll be clicking on create here. So we have discussed briefly about the grid layout and the absolute layout before, right? So I am not discussing it again. Now if you see it over here, the first thing it has given me an empty canvas. So first thing we will do is, if I just go over here, there is a background picture over here, right? So let us try to implement that one. So I already downloaded that picture. Probably in my GitHub also I will share that picture as well, but you can use any picture you want it over here. So for the canvas, if you see, there is a option called background image. So I'll just browse it and I will use this particular image over here. And if you see, that image is actually not filling up this particular canvas. So for that, what I'll do is I need to change this settings called custom, from contain to custom values. Now if you see my canvas width and canvas height, probably I can maintain the similar width and height for my image as well. So that should be fine. 1200 and 900 here. So that is also should be fine over here. Okay, so this is the image. I will click on save. So this is done. The second thing we have it over here is my global time range is by default all time, because as I said, we are using kind of static data. So we will by default keep it as all time so that our graphs will be populated properly. Okay, so if you are working on different data set, last 24 hours is fine, but based on your need, you need to set this global time range. So I'll be clicking on this guy over here, and if you see, the default value is 24 hours, so I'll be changing it to all time now. Save. Two things are done. Now the third thing is I need to create this guy over here, right? So here let us try to discuss. Now there are three ways you can create single value in Splunk Dashboard Studio. One is the normal single value we have seen in our classic dashboard, that is there, single value with trend. There is another option called single value icon. Now if you see it over here in the add icon section over here, so you can create you can actually download some SVG icons and you can browse it and upload it over here, or you can use some by default icons provided by Splunk as well. Now I have downloaded this one coronavirus icon from Wikipedia, so I have basically uploaded it over here. You just need to browse it or drag and drop it over here, so that will be fine. Okay, so let us do that one. So we will probably first create that one, that icon way of single value icon basically. And the third way is this radial chart, radial graph in Splunk. Okay, so now the basic advantage of icon single value is the value of the color of the icon also you can change it accordingly, whatever color you are having it for your single value as well. So that's a good thing as well. So let us try to implement that. So I'll just click on this icon over here. If you see it, currently it is showing me something like this one. So now if you see, for icon also it is telling me set up a primary data source, because it can show a single value here. So let us first try to set a data source first. Okay, we have already seen how to create data source, so I will not explain it again, but we will try to go through it again as well when we will be creating a new search over here. But before that, let us try to develop the search first. So here basically we are trying to display the current active cases. Okay, so if I just go to my index COVID-19 and go to my summary data, So there is a field called active cases over here, right? And that is also for different countries we have, right? So we will just try to get the sum of the active cases for all the country, throughout all the country over here. So that will give me the current active cases, and we will convert it to millions over there. So let us develop a search. So that's my source, and let us first table it out. So I will just table the necessary columns. I have just copied it over here. It is nothing but the country, continent, the confirmed dates, whatever columns we have seen over here in this particular data sheet. Okay, so I will just first run it now. So this will become our base search. Then according to our need, we will create the chain searches over there. So let us copy this guy over here, and as this guy will always run for all time, so I will also set the earliest and latest as well over here, so that it will not be bound by the time picker entry over here. Okay, 0 and latest equals to now, and latest equals to now over here. So it will always be run for the all time, this particular search. So I'll just copy it. I will go to the data source first, create a base search. I'll just give base underscore search underscore summary, because this is the base search for the summary data, right? So I will create that. So this is my summary data base search. Now let us try to create a chain search, which will basically give me the active cases, right? So let us develop that on top of this search. So I'll just see stats sum of the active cases, right? So if I just go to this particular column, active cases column, so we need to take sum of this particular column here, right? So let us do that one. So I'll just copy it. So there will be a comma over here as well. That is fine. For table, even you can give space as well. As active cases. So this will become my total stats over here. Now if you see, it is giving me a bigger number, so that's why we will convert it to million over here. So that's why we will be using eval, right? Eval active cases equals to active cases divided by 1 million over here, right? So this will, and we will round it to 2 decimal places as well. Okay, so we will round it to 2 decimal places here. So this will be giving me the current active cases, right? So this will become my chain search now, this particular portion. So let us do that. Create a chain search. I'll give it a name called current active cases. Parent search, I will select my summary based search, and then this will be my chain search portion over here, right? Now I will save it. So this, we have created a data source for the current active cases. So let us try to go to this particular single value icon now and set up the primary data source here. So I will be selecting this current active cases chain search over here. Okay. Now if you see it over here, like once I choose the search ran, but it is not reflecting something over here, right? Now here 2 options you have. Either you can keep this icon over here. So let us first do that one. So the color, we can set it from here, the dynamic elements over here, the coloring. Okay, so if I choose coloring, and let's say for now I will just choose the icon and measure value over here. Now if you see, based on the default coloring, it is coloring this particular icon here, right? So now let us try to see the icons over here. So now what we want is, let's say if we have less than 5 million, we will show it as green. Otherwise 5 to 15 we will show it as amber, and greater than 15 we will be showing it as red over here. So first of all, if you see, this is going from red to green, so you will just change it to green to red first, and I will give a value 5 over here, and I'll give a value 15 over here. So that means from 5 less than 5 we will be green, 5 to 15 we will be amber, and 15 and above we will be, so if I just remove this one and give a 15 over here, 15 and above we will be red over here. Okay, so that's my dynamic coloring for the icon here. Okay, from here you can choose whether you want to color based on the measure value and trend. So trend will be coming into picture when you have the time series data you want to display in your single value, which we'll see it very soon. And here you can choose from the dark color and light colors, and from this drop down you can choose different coloring options over here. I'll just not go through it because these are very self-explanatory over here, right? So this is for our trend. So let us save it. Okay, so now either you have this option, you can just show the icon, or you can enable the measure value and trend as well with this guy. In that case, this will become a little bit smaller. This is what I have seen it here. Okay, so once you do that one, if you see, our search query was returning up to 2 decimal places, right? But in our dashboard it is simply returning me without any decimal places, because there is a precision over here. So this is double, you have to do it. You have to remember this one. Okay, even though your search is returning with 2 decimal places, but in your dashboard it can still show up without those decimal places as well, because of this particular settings here. So I'll choose precision up to 2 decimal places here, and if you see, accordingly it is changing its size as well. And trend I will not display now, because this is, anyway, I am not fetching any time series data now. I have just done a simple stats count. Okay, so trend will not make any sense over here now. Okay, so I can turn off the trend for now. Now in the coloring we have seen that on as well, but we have changed for the icon. Similar thing we will be doing it for the measure value. So this is called the measure value actually, and this portion is called the icon here. So similar stuff we will be doing it for the measure value as well. So 5 till 15 is this color over here, and 15 and above is our red color over here. So that is the similar stuff I have done it over here. Now let us save it. So we have almost created this guy over here, if you see it, but the M we have not yet created. So for this reason you need to use this unit position over here. Okay, and the unit position, either you can make it as after, before. Generally for dollar, if you want to display dollar something, so you can select before from here, as I will be displaying the M after this one, after this particular number. So that's why I'll be choosing after over here and unit level as M over here. Okay, so we have created this guy over here, if you see it, something like this one. So now what I can do is I will make it something like this one. I will make it as a bigger line over here. I'll make it a little bit smaller. Okay, and the background color we can choose it from here, the static background as black. So that will make it this particular background as black. Now very simple, we are just displaying another icon over here. So I have downloaded another SVG over here. So what we can do is we can use an image as well. So this is also fine. An image, I can display that image. So this is the one I have downloaded it. So I can display it as an image over here. This is very simple, right? So this is done, correct? And here we have one string called current active cases. So let us create that using this text box over here. So we will just write current active active cases, current active cases here, and we need to make it as red color. So text color, we will just make it as red, and I will make it as bold as well over here, and we will drag it over here. Let's give it a bigger size. So font size, we will just try to make it as simple bigger, this one. Okay, so we have created this guy as well for our this one. So we have created basically this bar over here at the top of our dashboard over here with all this necessary details. Okay, so while doing that, so we have touched down lot of stuff like how to create text boxes in your dashboard studio, how to work with single value icons, how to upload an image as well, not only to the dashboard but also to the dashboard background as well. Okay, so probably I will stop over here. I just do not want to make this video so long so that it will be boring for you guys. So next video we'll talk about another way of creating single value with trend lines in this particular dashboard as well. Okay, so hopefully this video was interesting. See you in the next video.